All right, actor Terrence Howard is calling out his Hollywood agency in a lawsuit, claiming that the company asked him to take a lower salary for the hit show Empire. Terrence alleges that CAA, also known as a creative artist agency, never had his best interest in mind, since the agency also represented the show's co-creators and production companies. Ooh, this gets tricky. What's your take on Terrence suing the big Hollywood agency, one of the biggest in the business? Al, what do you think?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Claudia. It's one of the biggest in the business, and a lot of actors and actresses are looking at him side-eye. But my hat has to go off to Terrence Howard. He clearly knows his worth. Between him and Monique and all the people in the Guild who were on strike this year, who speak against the machine called Hollywood when done wrong, I think deserves support. The same way we support the strikers for the writers, the same way we support the strike for the actors. I think we should support him if he was definitely done wrong. Claudia, you're an actor. Funky, I know you aspire to do more. I just wish in these particular instances, they use their voices when they are the most popular, because that's when people listen to you the most, especially those who are calling the shots. But I have to say, people like Terrence again, people like Monique, people like Fran Drescher, who are speaking against these agencies, these agents, these studios, these managers, and making them more accountable. I think it's okay. I really do. And it's super brave, especially considering his age, and he still has plenty of time to do more work, but will he be able to get work? I wish him the best of luck.
I am MJ876 said he's about to be blackballed. And Jasmine Youngblood said, give that man his money. And Tish TV said, go get them, Terrence. We got to stop being scared of the big entities. Q, what do you think? Do you think this will lead to him getting blacklisted?
Almost definitely. Unfortunately, but yes, I do think that there are going to be a lot of salty people in Hollywood up at the top that are going to say, little Negro boy, who do you think you are, taking us on? And they're going to want to spank him. The deal should have never been legal in the first place. This is literally the equivalent of somebody listing a house representing the buyer and the seller. They just want to get the house sold. So, they convince the buyer that, or the seller to drop the price of the house real quick so this person over here can buy it. This deal should have just never been legal because there were too many conflicts of interest. When it comes to this, I would be curious to know if Terrence was dissatisfied with his salary while doing Empire, or did this dissatisfaction come after the fact when he found out what other people had made for similar roles and similar contributions?
I will say this, sometimes you're assuming it's favored nations, and I always ask, is it favored nations? Favored nations means all the leads are getting the same amount. We're favored nations, we're all getting the same amount. That's something that I try to push for. And this is tricky. Yes, it is like a real estate deal where they're representing the buyers and the sellers, and they are going to actually side with the production company or the show, because they're making way more money off of that than the 10% they'll make off of his money. But I see why he would be in a weird position. Like his agent probably, there's also package deals that people do. Okay, you want Taraji? You throw in our other client and you take Terrence as your second lead and we'll get them for this much money. They do these kinds of things where they package you with another name that's big as well. So sometimes you get the gig because your agency represents somebody else or the show. That may have been the reason why he even got the show. So it was kind of tricky. This is a business where you have to ask for your own raise. Like, they're never going to volunteer your raise. You have the power to actually say, what I would have done, Terrence, if I were you, I would have agreed to this to see what the show does and agreed to a shorter contract, a 1-year deal. You do a 1-year deal and then you see what the show does, and you have it in your contract where, your contract is up for renegotiation after the 1 year. Then you see the show blows up, and guess what? You're invaluable. Now you have them by the balls, and your agent knows that. I would have never signed a multi-year deal with this kind of show. You just don't do that. But I wish him the best of luck, and I hope he gets a lot of money, because he's going to have trouble after this going up against CAA. You see, we can't even speak about what's happening in the overseas without getting blacklisted. So imagine going up against the biggest agencies, one of the biggest agencies in the country, in the world.